Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about personal finance.
Oh, always a good one.
It is. It is. And we're going to be focusing specifically on an article that one of you lovely listeners sent in. Organize suas finanças com practicality e soluções reais.
Okay.
We're going to try and unpack that, and like all of our deep dives, see if we can extract the most valuable insights for you guys. And
I like it.
yeah, and today we're going to have a little bit of help from our friend ChatGPT to help us put those practical solutions into action.
Ooh, fun. I love it. This is a good one.
Yeah, so are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so let's jump right in. This article starts off by talking about, well, budgeting, obviously, kind of the foundation of everything.
Right, yeah. It's interesting, though. It kind of goes right away into, like, the psychology of budgeting. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just about, like, crunching numbers. It's like, how it shifts your mindset from sort of, like, reactive to proactive with your money.
I like that, yeah, for sure. And it actually gives a specific ChatGPT prompt that you can use. And this prompt is in Portuguese, of course, because the article is in Portuguese, but we'll translate it for you. It says, create a monthly budget for an income of $6,000, allocating 50% to fixed expenses, 30% to leisure, and 20% to savings.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, is that really helpful? I feel like a lot of people listening are probably like, well, I kind of already know, like, what my budget should look like. Or,
Right. Yeah.
like, can ChatGPT really change the way that we think about money?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I think, the prompt itself is just a tool, right? But what's cool is that the article highlights this thing about visualization, like by actually seeing where your money's going.
Right.
And that's what this prompt can help you do,
Yeah.
is you start to be able to make more conscious choices, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like that saying, what gets measured gets managed.
I like that. So it's not necessarily like, about having ChatGPT tell you what your budget is, but more like using it as a way to see it in front of you, really understand it.
Yeah, understand it, see it, and then if you want to make adjustments.
Yeah, I love that. But then what about like the unexpected expenses?
Right?
That's where the article talks about the emergency fund.
Yes.
And this is where they say ChatGPT can be really useful. Like imagine being able to, simulate different scenarios. Like, what if you lose your job?
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
What if you have a medical expense?
Yeah.
They say use ChatGPT to figure out how much you would need in your emergency fund in order to feel comfortable.
I mean, yeah, I like that idea because that's where a lot of people get tripped up, right? It's like, how much do I really need?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's pretty neat. So we've got our budget sorted, we've got our emergency fund, and then it moves into talking about goals.
Right, because now that you have that good, solid foundation, you can start thinking about like, okay, what do I want to do? What are my financial goals?
Yes, and it talks about setting smart goals.
Yeah.
So that, those specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, all the good stuff. And it gives another ChatGPT prompt example, and it says, I want to save $15,000 in a year. How much should I save per month, and how should I adjust my budget for that?
Yeah, it breaks it down.
So it's not just like, I want to save more money. You got to be really specific. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. Like I do. I'm like, oh, yeah.
The big, vague goal.
A big, vague goal.
Yeah.
But breaking it down, I think that's a really powerful way to think about it.
Yeah, it makes it less scary, too, when you think about the little steps.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of got our budget, we've got our emergency fund, and we've got our goals. So what's next?
Well, now let's dive into maybe something that feels a little intimidating for some people.
Okay.
Saving and investing. It has some I was surprised, really practical advice, even for beginners.
Yeah, and it breaks it down into manageable chunks. So, for example, there's a prompt that says, how can I reduce my household bills by 15%? And then another one, what are some good investment options if I have $2,000 to start?
I love that.
I know, it's really cool.
Because I think a lot of people think you need tons of money to start.
Even start, yeah, and it focuses on those low risk options, like it mentions CDBs.
Right, exactly.
So for those of you who don't know, CDBs are certificates of deposit, which are offered by Brazilian banks, and they're considered a really safe and stable way to grow your money.
Yeah, exactly, low risk, which is what you want when you're starting out.
Exactly, don't go crazy right away.
Yeah.
Build that foundation.
Yeah.
It also mentions fixed income funds.
Yes, those are good.
Which, again, are another good option for beginners.
Right, and it's interesting that the article even mentions, using ChatGPT to explore ways to negotiate with banks.
Oh, yeah, to reduce those interest rates.
To reduce the interest rates on existing debt, So if you're carrying credit card debt or or something. You can actually...
Wow, so it's really about like empowering us to take control of our finances from
Yes.
all these different angles.
All the angles,
I
exactly.
love that. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already, but we still have lots more to unpack. So let's take a breath and then come back for part 2.
Sounds good. I'm excited for more.
Me too. All right, see you guys soon.
Welcome back to the deep dive, everybody.
All right, so we are back and ready to keep going. Like, my mind is already blown from part 1. There's so much good stuff in this article.
I know, right?
It's really, like, making me think differently.
Yeah, and it's so cool how, like, accessible all these tools are becoming. You know, and I remember, like, back in the day, you needed, like, a financial advisor to give you this kind of personalized guidance. But now with AI, it's practically at your fingertips.
Yeah, like in your pocket.
Exactly. And it's not even just about, you know, getting the quick answers. This article really encourages us to use like these ChatGPT prompts as like jumping off points.
Yes.
You know, like for a more informed approach to money management. It's about like sparking that deeper understanding of your own financial habits and goals.
It's like having that like conversation with a financial expert.
Yeah.
You know, and bouncing ideas off.
Yes. I love that.
And really like taking control of our own.
Exactly. I love that. But, you know, we can talk about it all day long.
Right.
But the article stresses, like, action is key.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just, like, read about these strategies or, like, you know, make a fancy budget spreadsheet. You got to make, like, real changes in your daily life, you know, the small adjustments that add up.
Yeah, for sure. Consistency is everything. You know, one thing that really resonated with me in this article is how it kind of, like, demystifies investing.
Yes.
You know, for so many people, investing feels like exclusive club for like the wealthy, you know, and the well-connected.
Like you need to know somebody, you need to,
Yeah.
But the article was like, nope.
Yeah.
Anybody can do this.
Yeah. It breaks it down. Like, remember that prompt about like, oh, where's some good investment options if you only have like $2,000 to start, you know? Like, you don't have to be a millionaire to start investing.
Right.
But I have to admit, like, sometimes I do feel overwhelmed by all the different options.
Oh, for sure.
You know? Like, how do you even know where to begin?
Totally. And that's why it's so important to start with, like, a clear understanding of your financial goals and, like, what's your risk tolerance, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
The article emphasizes that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to investing.
Right. Everyone's different.
Everyone's different.
You can't just...
Exactly. And that's where, like, these AI tools are so cool.
Yeah.
Because they can help you do that research. You can use ChatGPT to compare different investment options.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Understand the potential risks and rewards, and even simulate like different scenarios to see how your investments might perform over time.
Okay, that makes you feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, it's like having
that like advisor right there in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But remember, be critical. Even, you know, with AI, always double check the facts.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, seek advice from a real, like, you know, human expert when needed.
Right. Always good to have a professional's opinion, too.
Now, before we wrap up this section, one more crucial point from the article I want to highlight.
Yep.
This idea of, like, constantly evaluating and adjusting your financial plan.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about, like, setting it and forgetting it.
No. Life changes all the time.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Your financial strategies need to evolve, too.
That makes sense. What worked for me a year ago or like 5 years ago
Exactly.
probably isn't the best strategy for me right now.
Exactly.
Right.
So regularly check in with yourself, review your goals, see how you're doing, and adjust as needed.
Okay, I like that.
It's like having a financial GPS.
Ooh, I like that.
That helps you navigate those unexpected, you know,
Right.
detours and roadblocks.
Yeah. Life throws a lot of curveballs.
Exactly. And keeps you on track.
Love it. Okay, so we've covered, you know, budgeting, goal setting, investing, and now this idea of constantly reevaluating. I'm feeling
I know. Or
I'm feeling a lot more
empowered.
Empowered, yeah.
Yes. But there's one more part to this deep dive.
I know. I can't wait to hear what else this article has.
Me too.
Let's go. Okay, so we are back for the final part of our deep dive.
I know. Can you believe how much we've covered already?
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm walking away with like so many
amazing.
tools and so much knowledge. It's awesome.
I know. It's a great article.
It is. It is. So we talked earlier about like, you know, negotiating debt with banks and things like that, which can feel really intimidating. You know?
Yes.
The article mentions ChatGPT as a potential tool for this.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, can AI really help us in, like, those situations?
Yeah, for sure. Like imagine using ChatGPT to like practice different scenarios,
Just
get tips on like negotiation tactics, maybe even generate a script to help you articulate your points clearly.
Oh, that's a great idea. Okay.
It's like having a little negotiation coach.
Yeah, in your
Software
pocket.
in your pocket.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
So, okay, it's not about, like, replacing human interaction,
Yeah.
but more like giving us the tools to feel more confident.
To feel confident, empowered.
Empowered, yeah.
That's a good word.
To advocate for yourself.
Exactly. It's like that saying, like, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day.
Yeah.
Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime.
Yes. I love that.
Right?
It's all about empowerment.
Empowerment, yeah. And the article really stresses the importance of, like, financial education.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not enough to just, like, have the tools and the technology.
We have to, like, understand how this stuff works.
Right. Develop your own, financial literacy so you can make informed decisions.
Right, exactly. And that's where, like, ChatGPT can really be a game changer. I mean, imagine using it to, like, compare different products or, like, different investment
Let's
strategies.
search different topics.
Research different topics.
Yeah.
It's like having this vast library of financial knowledge just available.
Right, your fingertips all the time.
Crazy. But, I mean, obviously we have to use it wisely, right?
Absolutely. You know, just like any tool.
Right.
You have to use it responsibly. Always, always, always double check the information that you get.
Yeah.
And, consult with a real human
Yes, a real human expert.
when needed.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to one of the most powerful messages that I took away,
Okay.
which is this idea of, like, taking action.
Yes.
It's so easy to get caught up in, like, learning about this stuff.
You can get analysis paralysis, right?
Yeah.
You're learning, and then you never do anything.
Exactly. So, we can have all the knowledge in the world, we can have all the tools, but if we don't actually use them.
It's useless, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about taking action, like taking that knowledge and transforming it into power.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's, like, setting up that automatic savings transfer or, like, finally having that conversation with your family about finances.
Yeah.
It's about taking those, like, small but meaningful
Steps. And remember, like, every journey begins with a single step, right? It's not about perfection. It's about progress.
I love that. Yeah. Celebrate the small wins.
Exactly. And be consistent.
Yes. Consistency is key.
Because those small actions, when you do them consistently, they really add up to big results.
Amazing. So to all our listeners out there, like, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. What's one small but impactful step that you can take right now, like today?
To move closer to those goals?
Yes. Because you have the power to shape your own financial future. And it all starts with, like, taking that first step.
And remember, you're not alone. There are so many resources out there, so many tools, so many communities to support you.
This has been such an incredible deep dive.
I'm so glad we did this one.
Me too. And I want to thank you for joining us on this journey of financial discovery.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in your power to create a brighter financial future.
Yes, we'll see you next time.